For this video, we're going to be working with a food delivery dataset. I already have Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio open, so you can go ahead and open that. So we're going to start with a database. So I'm just going to come over here, right click on databases, and we're going to create a new database. And the name of this database, I'm going to make it food delivery 2 because I already have one. So you can just name yours food delivery. And I'm just going to go ahead and create that. So I have my database here. So now go over here. I'm going to create a new query. Okay, so let's import our data. Come over to databases, and on food delivery, right click and then go to tasks. We're going to import flat file, and we're going to get this dialog. So go over to specify input file and then browse, and I'm going to select my data set. The link for this data set is going to be in the description box below, and I'm just going to name this table for this tutorial just food delivery like this, and I'm going to click on next, and we're going to get a preview of our data. So we have dates, time, the dish name, so on and so forth. But yeah, this is what our data set looks like. Now we can go to modify columns, and here we have order ID. So we're going to leave most of this as it is. Quantity, I'm just going to change quantity to just int, just in case our quantity goes beyond what tiny int can take. It's not going to give us an issue. Delivery time in minutes, I'm going to do the same thing, and repeat order, I'm going to make it n voucher 50 payment method, so for revenue and this. So this is essentially what our data set is going to look like, and you can just set it as it is like this. So go over to next, and then finally we're going to click on finish, and our data has been imported. So I'm just going to close this. So we're going to, let's take a moment to explore our data and see what our data looks like. So first, let's select, and I'm going to select all from, and we're going to reference our table, which is the food delivery table. And I'm going to run this query using F5, and so this is what our query looks like, and yeah, this is what it is. If you want to see just the first 10 items instead of the entire thing, let's say you could just do top 10. Once again, run this query and you see only the first 10 items like that. So let's run another query. Let's say we want to check the number of rows. I believe I can't even remember how many items are in this data set, but let's see how many records we have. So we're just going to select, and then we're going to count all as, let's just see, number of rows, and we're going to reference the food delivery table, and once again I'm going to select this entire thing, F5 to run. Okay, the number of rows is 500, so we have 500 data entries. So as you'll notice, whenever I'm typing here, the table is supposed to come up here, and we're also getting this red error line even though our queries are working fine. So what you do is just refresh. I'm going to use Ctrl+Shift+R, and when you do that, you just give it a moment, and you see that these red lines will disappear and we'll stop having that error. But yeah, that's it. We can move on to our other queries. let's check the date range for our data sets. So I'm going to use, we're going to of course use select first, and we are going to use the main function to check the date column as start date, and we're also going to use marks to check the date column also as end date. I'm going to reference our table, which is the food delivery table, like that, and I'm going to run this query. So our data set runs from 1st of January 2025 to 30th of June 2025. So the spread of our data set is just 6 months within the same year. Let me add some comments to just indicate what we're doing before we move on to the next one. So this is number of rows, and this one is date range. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. So for this one, let's look at some values. Let's say the number of customers. So I want to do like a summary of our data set, just like we did with date. We just want to take a look at some particular parameters. Let's start with so let's see how many customers are in our data set. So I'm going to select, and then we're going to do a count, and it's going to be distinct of customer ID. Like this, and this is going to be as let's make it unique customers, because we might have repeat customers in our data set. So we're going to reference from our data set, which is the food delivery table here, and let me just run this first. So we have 100 unique customers. Although we have 500 entries, it's 100 customers. There are 100 unique customers in our data set. So let's take this query and expand on it. So now that we have this, let's look at other parameters as well. So I'm just going to come over here, bring this to the next line, and I'm going to do the same here, and I'm going to copy this line of our query, and I'm going to paste it here. So let's do the same query for dish name, and this is going to be unique dishes, and we're going to do this for category as unique categories, and finally let's do this for cities. So we're just going to reference city, and we're just going to make this, let's just say cities. Okay, so let's run this query, and so we have 100 unique customers, 10 unique dishes, 3 categories, and 10 cities, and that's the basic summary of our data set. Let's look at the total revenue in our data set. So let's look at total revenue. So we're going to select the sum of our revenue as total revenue. We're going to reference our table, which is the food delivery table. Okay, let's run this query and F5. So our revenue is $12,704. Let's round this so that we don't have, let's round this down to 2 decimal places like this, and I'm going to run the query again. So instead I saw it would have been 10, so we have $12,708 in revenue. Next, let's look at the sales trend. So even though we're working with SQL and sales trends tend to be clearer when you're using a chart, but let's just take a moment to look at it. So let's look at our sales trend. So we'll be looking at the sales by date. So let's select, and this is going to be dates. We're going to get the sum of our revenue supposed to be sum as sales trend and it's going to be from our food delivery data sets or table. We're going to group by date, and we're also going to order by date. So let's group by dates, and we're going to order by dates. Let's close this, and now let's run this query. Okay, so this is our sales trend. So once again, we are working with just numbers. If this was a chart, it would be easier to look at. Or if you're doing a two-step data analysis where you're going to use SQL first to run certain queries and then plot your results, or also do the same thing in a visual software like Excel or Tableau or Power BI, then this would make more sense. But for now, this is what it looks like. You can also round the sum if you want to. So let me just round it so that our results can look a bit neater, even though I'm not taking. Let's run this. So once again, this is our sales trend. Next up, let's look at the average order value. So we want to look at on average what our customers pay per order. So I'm going to make this average order value. So we're going to select, and we're going to use the average function. We're working with revenue, and this is going to be as average order value from food delivery. And let's run this. Okay, 25. I think we've established now that I think we're just going to constantly, so I don't forget, I'm going to constantly use the round function from this point forward, except I forget, because it will seem that we really need it. Anytime we're dealing with whether it's a sum or average, we need to use our round function. So I'll always add it from this point forward. So the average order value is $25.41. Next, let's look at the total revenue by category. So this is going to be revenue by category, and we are going to select the category and we are going to get this we're going to round. Let's round first, and then we're going to get the sum of revenue. I'm going to round it down to 2 decimal places as, let's just do category revenue, and we're going to reference food delivery, so that's going to be from the food delivery table, and we're going to group by category, and we're going to order by category revenue in descending order, like this. Now let's run this query, and we have fast food having the highest in revenue, then healthy comes in next, and then finally we have healthy food coming as the lowest in terms of revenue for our categories. Now let's do this again, but this time let's look at top selling categories, not by revenue but by quantity. So we're going to look at let's change this to top selling categories by quantity. And I'm just going to, we don't need this round function anymore, and I'm just going to remove that. Now this time we're going to get the sum of the quantity. So I'm going to reference the quantity column, and this is going to be total quantity. Next, let's also change this to total quantity. And I'm going to run this. So although we still have the same order where fast food sells the most in terms of quantity, healthy sales come second, and comfort food. So yeah, that's it for sales by quantity. Next, let's look at the average price per dish while also looking at them based on their category. So we're going to do average price per dish by category, by dish per dish category. Okay, so I'm going to just, let's select, we're going to reference the category column, and we're going to get the average of price. This is going to be rounded to 2 decimal places, and we're going to make this average price. And we're going to reference our table, which is going to be the food delivery table, and we're going to group by category, and let's order by average price. In descending order, and let's run this. So we looked at total revenue, fast food does best, healthy food comes second, and comfort food comes third. Quantity, same order, but this time it seems like on average fast food per dish has the highest average price, and then comfort food comes in second with healthy food coming third. So that's the order of sales based on dish prices in each category. Next, let's look at the top 10 dishes by revenue. So this is going to be top dishes by revenue, and going to type select, and we're going to select dish name. And we're going to get the sum of revenue as total revenue and we're also going to, while we're doing this, let's also look at the quantity. So let's look at the sum of, so we can compare both at the same time, the quantity as total quantity let's reference our table, which is going to be the food delivery table. Let's group by dish name and let's order by total revenue. Let me just add our round function here because I know that we're probably going to have decimal places. So I'm just going to round this sum of revenue to 2 decimal places. Okay, and I'm going to run this. So we have BBQ ribs coming first, then grilled chicken sandwich, chicken wings. Well, you can just look at it. Avocado toast comes in last at 10th place. But yeah, that's the revenue. And grilled chicken sandwich, I believe, yeah, it has the highest quantity. So if you want to look at it for whatever reason, let's say you want to look at your results in terms of quantity. So instead of looking at it, ABC, you want to look at the top dish in terms of quantity. Well, there you have. This time BBQ ribs actually is 7 in terms of quantity, but when it comes to revenue, it's first. So I'm just going to return this back to its original state, and I'm going to run this, and yeah, we're done with the top dishes by revenue. Next, let's look at the revenue by city. So I'm just going to revenue by city, and we're going to select the city column, and we're going to get the sum of revenue as total revenue. And we're going to reference our table. And we're going to group by city, and we'll order by total revenue. In descending order. Let's add our round function here. Okay, so I'm going to run this. So San Jose has the highest revenue, followed by San Antonio, then San Diego. Well, New York comes in last with just $999 in terms of revenue. Next, let's look at the average delivery time by city. So I'm going to make this average delivery time by city. And we're going to select the city column, and we're going to get the average of the delivery time, which is in the column, it's delivery time min, and we're going to get that as average delivery time we're going to reference our table, and we are going to group by city, and we're going to order by average delivery time in descending order, like that. And I'll just run my query. So Dallas has the highest average delivery time of 42 minutes. Then we have Phoenix, San Antonio, and we can just come down, say second to last being Chicago and Philadelphia, meaning that Philadelphia on average you get your items or food delivered faster compared to places like Dallas and Phoenix. But yeah, that's it for this particular one. Next, let's look at the revenue by day of week. So want to see the daily sales, how daily sales do. So let's see revenue by day of the week, and we are going to select the day, and we're going to get the, let me start with the round first because we probably need that. I'm going to get the sum, and we're going to get the revenue, run it down to 2 decimal places as total revenue, and this is going to be from the food delivery table, grouped by I'm going to group by day, and we're going to order by total revenue, and let's run this query. So Saturday has the highest revenue, then Thursday, Monday. Yeah, that's it. So there you have it. That's our revenue by day of the week. Let's now see, let's go even further. So we just looked at day of the week. Let's look at hour of the day, since we have a time column. So I'm going to say, let's say pick, let me just say revenue by time of the day, and we'll select, let's start with the date part function, since we want to just get only the hours in chunks instead of looking at the entire time. And we're going to specify that we want to refer to the hour part of our time column. This is going to be as, let's do it as hour of day, and we are going to get the sum of our revenue as Let's make this hourly revenue. Let me round this down. So we're going to use our round function. I'm going to round this to 2 decimal places. This is going to be from the food delivery data sets, and we're going to order by hour of the day. Let's just run this. Now this query is not going to run. I was wondering why it's so short. It's just 3 lines. I didn't specify what we're grouping our query by. So I'm going to group by, you know what, let me just copy it from here. So I want to group by this. Okay, so I'm going to run this. So this is what we have. We have our hourly revenue, I think 14, 15. Okay, it's going from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. So that's the entire range of our particular time. So we are seeing our revenue, ordered by the time. So let's do something different. Let's say if you didn't want to see it by, let me say, the time of day, but you wanted to see it by what hour or what time of day has the highest revenue, can also do that. So just so you can have both queries, I'm going to just copy it and paste it. This time we're just going to order by hourly revenue in descending order, and I'm going to run this. So we see that 2 p.m. has the highest hourly revenue, then next is 8 p.m., then 1 p.m., 9 p.m., 11 a.m., so on and so forth. Well, yeah, that's the revenue by time of day. Next, let's look at the average delivery time by day. So I'm going to average delivery time by day. So let me give myself more space to work with. We're going to select the day column. Oops. So we're going to select D, and we're going to get the average delivery time. So let's reference the column delivery time in minutes. Oops, no, it's just min, not minutes. And that will be as average delivery time from our data sets. Oops, no, I didn't reference it well. It's from the food delivery data sets. And we're going to group by day, and we're going to order by, let's order by the average delivery time, and I'm going to run this. So we have, let me do this in descending order and make sure instead of guessing we're trying to figure it out. Okay, so Thursday has the highest delivery time, then we have Sunday coming in next. So I think the best time to order if you want to will be Friday, because it has the shortest average delivery time. But yeah, that's the average delivery time by day. Let's look at the most ordered dishes. So I want to see which one gets the most orders. So most frequently ordered dishes, and we're going to, let's select the dish name, and we're going to get the counts. Oops, let's make it uppercase. Let me do counts, and this is going to be number of orders. This is going to reference our table. Group by dish name, and we're going to order by number of orders. And let's run this. So Cobb salad gets the highest number of orders, followed by mac and cheese. We have grilled chicken sandwich, so on and so forth. While clam chowder has the lowest amount of orders compared to the rest. Now let's take a look at the payment method. So let's start with the revenue. So revenue by payment method. And I'm just going to select payment method. We're going to get the sum. Let me add around first. We're going to get the sum of revenue as total revenue. And we're going to reference our data sets, group by payment method, and we're going to order by total revenue. Is there even a need? Let's just run it as it is, because I believe we should have two or three payment methods, so there's no need to use order, but we can just look at it. But if you want to look at it, so card has the lowest revenue, followed by cash, and the highest revenue comes from wallets. So let's look at the average order value, the average order by payment method. So let's just copy this entire thing, and I'm just going to paste it. We are going to change this to average order value by payment method. So this time we're just going to change this sum to average, and this is going to be average order, and I think that should be it. If there's any errors, we'll say that. Okay, so card, there isn't that much difference in the average order. So regardless of payment method, customers tend to spend around the same per order depending on the payment method. And yeah, that's it for this query. Next, let's see how many repeat orders we have in our data set. So I'm just going to say number of repeat orders. Let's select repeat order and we're going to do a count of all, and this is going to be as number of orders. We're going to get the sum of the revenue based on the number total orders that we get. So we're going to get the number of orders as well as the sum of our revenue for those orders. So revenue, let me make this lowercase, and we're also going to add a round function around this. With 2 decimal places as total revenue from food delivery, and we're going to group by repeat orders, and we're going to order by number of orders. So let's run this, and so we have more repeat orders than we do, like more than double what we have in terms of no repeat orders, and this is the revenue for the repeat order rate as well. Next, let's just look at the average delivery time overall. We're not going to separate by city or day, we're just going to look at the average delivery time. So I'm going to we're just going to look at the average delivery time of our entire data set. And let's select, we're going to get the average for delivery time in minutes, and that's the name of our column, and I'm going to have this as average delivery time. That's going to be from our food delivery table, and I'm going to run this query. So our average delivery time overall is just 40 minutes. Next, similar to this one, let's just look at let's say average revenue. So and I'm just going to change this to revenue, and we'll just want to take a look at, we're going to make this average revenue, and so average revenue, let's round this, should have done that. Okay, I'm going to run this, and the average revenue is just $25.41. Let's now look at the average rating. I'm going to just copy this and paste this. Let's remove this. So let's just make this written, and this is going to be average rating, and I'm going to run this query. So the average rating is 3.99. maybe we can, let's round this Average rating is 3.99. Now let's look at the average rating by city. And we're going to select city. We're going to get the average of the rating to we're going to round it down to 2 decimal places as average rating going to reference our table, group by city, and we're going to order by average rating. Like this. Let's now, okay, so Dallas has the highest rating, followed by Chicago, then Houston. So just over here we see that New York has the lowest rating, followed by San Jose. San Jose has the 9th rating, and New York has the lowest rating based on our data set. Next up, let's look at our total revenue by customer. I think at the beginning of our data sets we established, I think we have 500. I'm going to remove this part. I want to see how many items we have in our data set. No, that was the wrong one. It should be this one, 500. So we have 500 entries, but within our data set we established that we have 100 unique customers. So let's look at revenue by our customers. So let's do revenue by customer, and let's select the customer ID, and we're going to get some. We're going to use round, so we'll have round, and we're going to get the round sum first, and reference our table. Our result is going to be in 2 decimal places as total revenue. And we're going to reference our table, and we're going to group by customer ID, and we're going to order by total revenue. Okay, so let's run this. So we can see revenue. So we have 100 customers. Let's say we just want to see our top 10 customers by revenue. So instead of looking at the 1 to 100, maybe say you just want to see your top 10 paying customers, so you can maybe there's a rewards program or some special discount or something like this. So let's just do that. So we're going to make it top 10. I'm going to run this. So we have our top 10 customers in terms of revenue. So the highest customer who has this customer ID has spent $320.08 in 6 months, because remember our data set goes from January 2024 to 30th of June 2024. So within this 6-month period, the top paying customer has spent $320 and the 10th has spent 208. Maybe we could see, let's remove this top 10 and see, or we could just change this to ascending so we can see the top 10 lowest. So let's just do that. I'm going to run this. So our lowest customer by lowest revenue has just spent $10.05, and the 10th person within this category has spent $65. So depending on what you are looking for based on your needs, this is what we'll just leave it at top 10. We'll just leave it at top 10 customers by revenue. Let's work on one final query. So let's do top dishes by revenue in each city, and going to select city and dish name. We're going to, let's round first. We're going to get sum of revenue as total revenue and this is going to be from food delivery. We're going to group by city and dish name. So let's group by city and dish name, followed by city and total revenue. Okay, so let's run this, and so we can see our results for all the cities while also seeing each dish. So grilled chicken sandwich does the best in Chicago. Let's just look at the top three: avocado toast, and then we have chicken wings. Dallas is different: BBQ wings, Caesar salad, buffalo wings wrap. Houston's clam chowder. So it's so on. We can just keep going, so on and so forth. So when you run the query, you can take your time to just look at this, where we can see the breakdown from city, dish name, and then we can see the total revenue for each dish. But yeah, that's it. We are done with this particular tutorial. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.